What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to check out HGLRC's REKON 3, and this may look a little different than some of the other drones you've seen on my channel. This is an Ultra Nano 1S 18650 Lion Pack Nano long range quad. Now it has TBS crossfire on the bottom, it has the Zeus flight controller with the Zeus VTX on there and 3D printed bottom plate covering up that Zeus and all of the goodies stacked in there. And it originally came with the Immortal T up front underneath the camera, and I moved mine back because it was causing too much vibration in the camera and causing a lot of jitter. One of the days when I first went out to fly this, it was super windy, so it was actually not really even that flyable. You need to fly this on a day when it is just dead calm, absolutely dead calm. So one thing to think about there if you decided to buy one of these, but it's neat because it is another Dave C design. Dave C has also designed other 4-inch long-range category quads, recently running 4S batteries. So we reviewed a lot of those on the channel, and one of the best ones to get recently was the Novice 4. If you've watched my previous videos, you've seen that one. So today I'm just going to give you an honest look at this one. Some of the quirks about it that I didn't like as far as the design could go. I think the version 2 could probably maybe have some of these revisions in version 2, which would be nice to see. And also don't forget to comment and subscribe on the channel for a chance to win that Firefly, that other Ultra Nano hexacopter that I have to give away on the channel, and the Insta360 Go, still brand new in the box with the plastic wrap on it. I'm going to send that to one lucky subscriber next week. We're going to give this away early next week, so be ready for that. This one's going to get shipped out. I have a trip coming up, and before I go out on my trip, I'm going to announce the June giveaway. We're going to do a new giveaway. Actually, it's going to be the July giveaway, and this is the June giveaway, so be sure to make a comment down below for this one. This one's going to be cool. I don't have enough time to fly all these, so I want to ship it to you, and that would be awesome for you. So this can handle an 18650 pack, and that's what's so convenient about these, because you can literally get these batteries anywhere. They're pretty cheap on Amazon. You can charge them up with something like the C4 Evo from ISDT, and what a perfect time to show you this charger along with the REKON 3. So you can plug this guy into any type of USB port. I plug it into the side of my computer there, and I can charge up my 18650 pack. So positives on this side, negative here. We can also charge my AA's as well. So you just put those right in like this, and you can start charging just like the other ISDT chargers. Very simple, but it gives you a really simple readout screen, shows you how much of a charge we have. That's pretty cool. Let's see if you guys can see that there. There we go. And that's pretty much all there is to it. It has the time elapsed. But if you go the other way, then you can charge an 18650 on here. So I just pulled that battery out and the charger reset. So now we can go to start here, and you can see that one's charging. Pretty cool. And if you want to stop a charge, you can long press that middle button, and that's pretty much your navigation button. You can charge other types of batteries on here too if you had these types of batteries, like LAFE, LAHV, nickel metal, NIZN, but mostly we're going to be charging Lions on here, lithium ion. And you can also set it to auto, so it auto detects what type of chemistry your battery has. That's pretty cool. So I'll put the link down below for this one. If you're going to grab a REKON 3, this would be a great pair up for charging up your 18650 Lion batteries. Pretty cool there, and I like the way that it looks once it's charging. It gives you a nice display screen. And there it is, very simple. And that battery is almost charged. So let's go out now and let's fly the REKON 3, guys. And let me show you what this quad is all about. And we're gonna do a durability test with this little guy because it is ultra, ultra thin. So I'll give you the good news and the bad news. Here we go. Okay, my friends, let's go ahead and do the FPV flight test of the REKON 3, and let's go ahead and send it out there and see how it does. I felt like it tracked really well, and it's kind of strange, like flying something with a single 18650 battery. I felt like I could maybe even freestyle this quad. I did a few flips and rolls with it, but nothing spectacular. It's not going to be a freestyle quad. You notice the voltage is not really sagging down a lot either. And if you want to set this up correctly in beta flight, set your battery warning level down to about 2.8, and that way it won't start squawking at you. Normally the LiPo setup is set to around very like 3.25 or so. So you can set that down to 2.8 and you should be good there. So that way you won't have all the warnings on the screen. But this VTX can be cranked up a little bit higher. We can go up to about 350 milliwatt with this VTX and have a little bit better reception back to the goggles on 350. The Zeus can also be replaced. You could put something else on there like the TBS Nano. Little Nano VTX from them is really good. And now sending it out there a little further, and even on 25 milliwatt, it seems to be doing pretty good. Now one of the things you have to watch out for is this one getting too low on the battery, and this VTX, the first thing that happens is you'll lose video at a very low battery level. So I do believe that Oscar Lang has a fix for that. You can check out his website. He has a really nice blog with detailed instructions on how to fix the Rekon 3 for that particular issue. But I had no problem getting this quad out there on the TBS Nano receiver and my Tango 2. It was a lot of fun to fly. It kind of felt like flying a tiny whoop way out there. It's a really lightweight little quad. And again, I can see some jitter here and there. The tune is not 100% perfect, but then again, we're running 3-inch props with a 1S battery out in a lot of wind. So you can't really see it, but the grass is swaying around quite a bit. And where you can really see the jitter and the jello is when you take these quads up high. We get up around the top of these trees right here, you might see a little more jello. Almost losing total video right there coming around the backside of that evergreen. Now back into acro. And one thing I did notice about it is this thing's pretty fast. It's actually pretty fast. I was surprised with the speed that this quad has. And it was great fun to fly. And here we're coming up on the death of mine, because I flew behind the van, and whenever you have a big steel object between you and your receiver, this happens. Right on the concrete, crash. And I broke some stuff on my Rekon 3. So concrete crash pretty much on any quad is gonna do some damage. Let's see what the results of that damage is. Here we go. Okay, so that was a full-on concrete crash. I flew behind the van and I finally got crossfire to fail safe. It finally happened. I haven't had it fail safe in years, but you know, when you fly behind this big metal van like this, yeah, penetration is really hard to get through solid steel. So yeah, I'm gonna put a couple more bolts on the bottom, and I suggest putting some Loctite on all your motors. There's only 2 bolts on each motor, so I'm actually lucky that this is all I came back with. So that was a full concrete crash, and these front arms I was really worried about walking over there, so that's good news for you guys. But we'll continue flying. We'll put some more bolts on there and we'll do some more flying. Guys, we're gonna sneak up on this 3-winged beast. Are you ready? Are you ready? Let's sneak up on this beast. Are you ready? Oh no! There she is, the 3-winged beast. Look at her in all of her glory. After she hit the concrete, she is no more. She's become a 3-winged beast. But I'm sure we can get her back in the air. So yeah, that's what happened. Hit the concrete, and what a beautiful quad, but now she's disabled. And that is what happens when you hit the concrete and air mode is active and the motor's still spinning, but it's off the frame. It can destroy a motor or an ESC. Something in here is compromised. It's most likely the AIO flight controller. So this one will probably need a new flight controller. So let's go back to the bench and let's talk about this quad a little further in depth. All right, guys, welcome back from the flight test. You know, a 3-inch 18650, totally brand new design that we've never ever seen before in the FPV community. Dave C brings it, and he brings it original, which is really, really awesome. I mean, these were up, I believe he was offering some of the 3D printed files to begin with, but mine suffered some damage. And first, on this side, from a frontal crash, TPU sometimes can crack along a ridge where it was, maybe it had a bad seam in here somewhere during the 3D print process. And typically TPU is super durable, but when you have TPU that's printed thinner, it can crack and break. Once it breaks off, it's gone for good. There's really no putting it back unless you could find the piece, but I can't. So that's gonna ride like that. It still works, but that is what it is. And then the other thing that I had a problem with was the bottom plate here. So when I crashed that really hard frontal crash, not only did it break that, it also broke the bottom plate cover here. So when I put this back on top, I just zip tied everything down here. But you can see right here along this seam, this bottom plate cracked all the way back here, and this piece was hanging back. So that was another piece of the damage. So this bottom cover here and all this venting, this is also TPU, and it is super, super thin and delicate. So this is not really meant to be crashed. But I think my biggest problem with this whole design was the fact that if you look from the very top, from the top down, you see that single bolt right there. That is the only bolt holding this front set of arms on. This is a single arm that goes all the way through here to both motors. And the problem with that was that when I first flew it, it had so much vibration and jitter in the camera, I couldn't understand why. And so, yeah, that bolt was loose from the factory. So like I always say in the videos, go over all your quads from China, make sure you tighten up all these bolts with a driver before you go fly, you know, including your prop nuts or your props bolts and underneath your motors, all the bolts. And this arm came from the factory kind of wiggling. It was totally visibly loose. And the problem with that was that I had to take this all apart on the bottom to get to the bottom, because as much as I screwed this down, it never tightened up. And the problem with that was that there is a nut underneath this, a tiny little M2 nut that sits just underneath this arm right here. But you have to take all of this off to get to that nut to be able to hold it with a pair of something like needle nose pliers. And the same thing for the back right here. You can see these bolts through the back. I felt like this design needed 2 bolts in place, maybe one here and one out here. And it's kind of hard because this is all about a light design and keeping this as light as possible. But it's hard to tighten this up enough that you don't get a little bit of wobble in the arms. So when you're running a 3-inch prop here with a nice feisty motor, we've got 11,600 kV motors. The 1202.5 motor series are good. They're a nice size for a nice micro size 3-inch prop. In the old days, we ran 1106 and they were just too high powered and they suck your battery down. 1106, you probably couldn't even run on an 18650 because they have such an amp draw. I mean, they used to smoke our NANO batteries, our small 2 and 3S batteries, pretty quick. You get about a 3-minute flight time, whereas this one you're going to get like 12 to 15 minutes real world flight time if you're just cruising on a no wind day. So I feel like the concept is here for the Rekon 3, and I think it's interesting, but I'd like to see a version 2 of this with maybe somehow incorporating 2 bolts here to just give this a little more stability or rigidity for the front, because if you have anything moving up front, it's going to translate right to the camera. So that's one thing. And also, guys, just a note for flying Lions. If you've never flown a Lion before, when you fly these guys, you want to go inside beta flight and you want to set your warning cell voltage down to about, I would say 2.8. And you can fly this guy down to about 2.8 and not damage it. The only other thing is that you fly down past 2.8 and this VTX will turn off. So Oscar Lang does have a fix for that. You can go and check out Oscar Lang's blog, very informative about how to fix the VTX so that it doesn't do that. One other thing I had to do was update my ESCs, because mine was a prototype coming from HGLRC and there was a bit of an issue with the ESC timing. So once I did that, I was good to go. But I think it's an interesting design. It is not super expensive. Like on the Banggood website, we have around $160 price for this one, bind and fly. If you want to get it with the TBS Crossfire Nano RX, which I have on here, it's going to put it up to about $190. And it's under 250 grams, guys, too. So, I mean, you know, that's not bad at all. And so far, it has pretty good reviews. It has about a 4.43 star review, about 5 or 6 reviews on Banggood so far. But I'm always interested to see what Dave C is going to do next. And I've been following this one for about 6 months. And I was wondering which company was going to jump on this design and release it for you guys. And I'm happy to see that HGLRC did. I thought maybe it would be iFlight or Flywoo, because Flywoo has been working with Dave C as well. But I guess HGLRC just maybe made him a better offer. So it's interesting to see another Dave C design come out, and a no props in view design as well, kind of that dead cat pushed forward type of camera. So that's cool to see, no props in view, and fun and quiet to fly. So I think you might like one of these. If you want to pick one up at the link down below, you definitely can. And I will put some links to some 18650s and this C4 from ISDT. This charger is super rad. So I'm going to be using this as well coming up for more 18650 type reviews that I'm going to do, because I'm sure there's going to be some more versions of this coming out. I believe Eacheen's actually going to make one of these too. I saw on the Banggood website already, it doesn't take them long to come up with a clone or their own version, in parentheses, our version of a Rekon 3. So yeah, stay tuned for that. I might get a copy of one of those to show you. But Dave C is the man, and he is the original creator of this idea. So cheers to Dave C, and thumbs up to him for all of his hard work in the community, because he keeps bringing it, you guys. He keeps bringing it, and it's awesome. So thanks for watching, guys. Be sure to make a comment down below for that giveaway coming up early next week, and we're going to announce the next giveaway too, which is also going to be super awesome. So I will see you on the next one. Take care, guys. Happy flying, happy FPV.